There, oh, well, that's loud. There we go. Now you can probably hear me. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing? All right, I was gonna sing, but I've been, like, trying to talk for, like, 5 minutes here, and then I couldn't figure it out, and then now Newt's jumping up at me. No, Newt, come back. Oh, you just jumped up, and now you're running away. Come here. All right, let me get on camera so people can actually see me. There we go. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing this fine evening? Come here, bud. Newt just jumped up on my lap, and then he jumped off. Come here. Come on. And everyone can hear me. How's my mic going? For some reason, my mic was being weird. Come on. Hey there, my kitty. You are very pretty. So jump up on my... There he is. Hello, everybody. There he is. Say hello to the little Newt man. Hello. Say hi. Hello, everybody. Son Jessie is son. Yes, sorry that I scared everybody. Hope everyone's doing good. Everyone sounds good. Good. Captain Pikachu. By the way, Captain Pikachu, I'm so sorry that I titled the stream this. I did it specifically to bother you. I hope everyone's having a wonderful night. I hope everyone's doing good and enjoying themselves. Also, watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds, because I'm not going to spoil anything from the episode necessarily, except for the first 8 minutes where Captain Pike's being a freaking boss just cooking. I'm going to force y'all to look at pictures of that as we, during the stream at some point today, but yeah, anyways, how's everyone doing? Oh, Fox and the Hound, why are you, oh, that's a good movie, but it makes you, makes me, like, cry every dang time. Also, the message of the Fox and the Hound is a bit wonky, because it's like, our differences are so irreconcilable that we'll never be able to get to... It's, like, very sad as like, a message. Though I get what it was going for, and it's a very sweet movie overall, but the message is a little bit, oh, a little sad. Oh, right? Who doesn't want to go to the Pike birthday party? Chris Bird. Which, by the way, sorry, Captain Pikachu, I'm sorry I tempted you, but let's see. Chris Bird, good to see you. Lewis, good to see you. Ooh, moon pie. Moon pies are nice, except for, yeah, they do get crumbs everywhere. Dude Badia, apologies if I said your name wrong. Super Desi, good to see you. John Bainbridge, Bella Nosh, Alex Miller. Just 22 more days of teaching this year. I need a bit of a break. I would assume so, Alex. Salute to you, especially to you, Alex, and to any teachers that are in the stream. Absolute salute to you, for everything over the past, for just being teachers. But like, I'll say this too. My mom was a special ed teacher. She's since retired. But my mom was a special ed teacher. My grandmother was a teacher. My grandfather was a professor. So education's in my family. And I see all the crap that teachers have to deal with regularly, and then everything that teachers have had to deal with these past couple of years, what with, number one, the pandemic, and then number two, the vilification of just teaching in general in this country, around LGBTQ issues, race issues, and just teaching in general. To any teachers out there, an absolute salute to all of you. You are doing amazing work, and I know it cannot be easy. I know it's often sometimes thankless. So to every single teacher out there, my love to you, because I saw what my mom had to deal with, and it was not fun, especially as a special ed teacher, and the fact that she was constantly underfunded and not given enough tools. So yeah, it sucks. So props to all the teachers. But now that I've said all of that, two things that I want to say before we get, let me do three things before we get started. Number one, you may notice this guy down here, right here. This little thing, if you're facing harassment, the game's an online harassment hotline. I just wish I announced it on Twitter, but the game's an online harassment hotline, and I are working together, and this is just us, like, working together sort of thing. It's like, I'm not getting paid or anything like this. I just think it's a really cool thing. But it's a hotline for anyone working in the gaming world, whether you be a streamer like myself, or you're a developer, anything like that. Player, really. If you're receiving harassment or abuse or anything like that, this hotline right here is meant to provide support, emotional and everything like that to help you. And so just working with, I've worked with Anita Sarkeesian a little bit on like Star Trek podcasts and stuff that she's done. She's one of the lead figures behind it. And so I've just decided I'm going to be one of what they consider to be like champions of the hotline, but it's just talking it up and saying nice things about it. So I wanted to point that out. So just, that's going to be in my live streams just for the next few months, just as like a reminder and just to have that there for people. And honestly, it'll probably continue even after I'm not officially like one of their champions anymore. And then secondly, off of that, part of games harassment and online harassment hotline, I don't know if they're technically tied together, but some of the people that work on that also work at Feminist Frequency. And tomorrow they are doing a live stream, a 12-hour live stream to help fundraise for all the stuff that they do, including the Games and Online Harassment Hotline. So I'm going to be part of that 12-hour live stream from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I'll be on that playing Resident Evil 4 for my very first time, because I played every Resident Evil game except for 4. So I'm going to have fun doing that. And yeah, there's going to be other cool people on that stream. Nicotine is going to be on there, kind of funny. Like, I think Greg Miller and Snowbike Mike are going to be on it and things like that. So it should be a really fun time. So I just wanted to say all that. And yes, the second thing is, this is sorry, I see people talking in the chat. I just wanted to announce all of that. But the second thing is, this is my Hangout chat. Every week, I hang out for about an hour. We talk about whatever you want to talk about. I say whatever. I dance for all of you. We just talk and hang out, and we talk about whatever you want to talk about, whether it be Star Trek Strange New Worlds or Star Trek Strange New Worlds, or things like Star Trek Strange New Worlds, or whatever you want to talk about. Like, I don't know, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is also a thing that I could talk about if you really pulled my leg on it. But yeah, that's just it. But yeah, I already see people doing super chats, but I just want to say, see you can NCC 1701, Chris. Dance right? Yes, Chris. I will dance for your amusement. This is the best dance. I can't dance. Jessie cannot dance. But yeah, whatever y'all want to talk about, just let me know what y'all want to talk about. We'll talk about it. I should say, like, I see some people already doing super chats are super appreciated. Obviously, I'll read super chats if you post them, but no pressure. This is my full-time job, so if you do super chats, that does help me pay the bills, and I am very appreciative of that. But beyond that, I just say thank you for being here and for supporting me and for being beautiful, amazing people. Anyways, make the bear dance. Yes, Sarah, I'll just do it. Look at the little Geordie bear. Look at the little Geordie bear. Look at little Geordie. Look at his beard. Look at the little Geordie silly face. With his little Geordie visor being all Geordie. It's adorable. And I got it. This is one of the things I kept the little Mission Chicago thing on there because it's from Star Trek Mission Chicago. So, but yeah, let's see. But yeah, I see some super chats. Let me just quick get those there. J Lord, heart to you. Thank you so much to you. You said, hi, it's been a while. If I came across a defender of capitalism, I was never a defender. If I came across as a defender of capitalism, I was never a defender of American-style laissez-faire economics, more the regulated welfare state style, among countries to greater extent Scandinavia. Yeah, I mean, J-Lord, number one, it's good to see you again. It's really okay. And like I said, at least I am not a fan of capitalism here. But I mean, obviously, American capitalism is like the worst version, or one of the worst versions of it, if not the worst, where literally, I mean, I was just watching a video today about how a woman's talking about being in poverty for her entire life, and how like America just constantly puts more and more people into poverty. We see things with like inflation. Some More News just did a great video on inflation about how the burden of of having to deal with being poor, of having to pay taxes, all this stuff is almost always predominantly placed disproportionately on people who don't have the means to handle that in this country. And so capitalism and the unfettered capitalism here in the United States is absolutely abhorrent and dejectable. And certainly other countries do it better. I'm still not a fan of capitalism in general. I mean, you can probably tell by some of the books in the background there. But yeah, no, I definitely appreciate other systems more than American ones, I guess is the best way to put it. Let's see. Aw, Sean, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. You said, hi, Jessie, good to see you. Pike's time to shine. Right! I am going to make you all, for those of you who are in the chat, we are going to look at pictures of Pike in a little bit. By the end of the stream, it will happen. I will make it happen because Jessie needs to look at Pike because it makes me happy. It's been a rough week. Oh, Atoll4K, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You said, hey, Jessie, I just want to stop by and say you're great and I loved your nuanced takes on hot button issues. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We'll have more soon. But yeah, I know it's... I mean, I received some good criticism on my video about Dave Chappelle earlier this week that I will be addressing probably in a video if I have time to make it. But I appreciated that people appreciated the video. And the discussions and stuff on it. I do see some criticism of me in that video about me being too kind to people like Dave Chappelle, which I hope wasn't the takeaway, but for some people it was, because I wasn't forgiving Dave Chappelle for his words. I don't want to make this a Chappelle talk, but it's just something that's been on my mind because people were saying like, oh, I'm too forgiving of Dave Chappelle. Just to be clear, screw Dave Chappelle. He is throwing trans people under the bus for profit and for his career. Is very clearly evidenced by the fact that he gets more Netflix specials by continually to beef up transphobia off of the controversy of saying transphobic things because he's getting people heated and angry because it's acceptable to use transphobia today. But people are obviously upset because it's transphobia. And Netflix, because they're also failing, is giving him more specials because they need the money too. The controversy. So it's throwing trans people under the bus for controversy. So I want to be very clear. Screw Dave Chappelle for doing that. And I'm not forgiving for him for that. What I was hopefully forgiving of, or at least less targetedly upset about that I think other people were just like specific things. But overall, Dave Chappelle, screw him for those things. But I want to also make sure we have a nuanced discussion about some of the things that he does have salient points on beyond trans people. Because I think ignoring those things allows the conversation just to be dictated by transphobia, which I don't want it to be. I think there are much larger things to discuss beyond just like Dave Chappelle bad for doing transphobia, because Dave Chappelle bad for doing transphobia, but there's also larger intersecting things to discuss with it. So, anyways, that's all I'll say on that front. I just wanted to be clear on all of that. Just because I saw some good criticism of me for that, and I wanted to make sure that was there. And Sarah, thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you. Hooray for fighting against harassment. I agree. Let's see. Yes! Dies graphic programmer, if you go to Zahadum, you will die. I love it. Some Babylon 5 references. Shh. In case Vera Wild is here. For those of you who don't know, I do a Babylon 5 podcast with Vera Wild. And she hasn't watched Babylon 5, so shh. No spoilers, but yes. It's one of my favorite. The Babylon 4 storyline and where things go with Sinclair, one of my favorite storylines of all of Babylon 5. I'll leave it there, but Babylon 4 and Sinclair, mwah, I love it. All right, let's see. What else do people say? Oh, thank you very much, Cassie. I appreciate that. You look, I assume you look really good as well. I can't see you, but my impulse is always to compliment people, but I can't see you, so it's a shallow insult, or shallow compliment, but thank you so much, Cassie. I'm sure you look great. Let's see. Bella Noche, I don't think you're too forgiving. I think you're just level-headed and incredible diplomat. I try to be, but no, I mean, again, I don't want to get off on this tangent because we'll talk about other more positive things, but I appreciate that, but I do also understand that there is a point where, like, being too fair ultimately just opens up avenues for transphobes to get more respectability than they should. So it's a hard balance to walk, right? It's something where it's like, I want to be very clear that, like, screw J.K. Rowling, screw Dave Chappelle and things like that, but I want to be very clear that there are other things that we should talk about within that, but also screw them for continuing to do harm. And it's always a delicate thing to walk, and I don't always walk it perfectly because it's a hard thing to walk. And I'll admit when I screw that up, and I try my best. So yeah. One other thing too that I cut out of that video that I want to discuss maybe in another video is, like, how we've leveled our criticism often at, like, people like Rowling and Dave Chappelle, who are also people from marginalized groups, whereas someone like Tucker Carlson doesn't get like, Tucker Carlson sucks and he gets a lot of, like, people yelling at him, but he gets allowed to do it because he's a white dude in power and it's expected of him to do white supremacist, horrible, transphobic nonsense. But we level more of our criticisms and vitriol and anger at Rowling. Like, I get less angry, like, I see a lot of people get less angry at Rowling, or less angry at Tucker Carlson because it's expected, than we do at Dave Chappelle and Rowling. And I think it's partially just because it's more acceptable to get angry at them, acceptable, quote unquote, because they are also from marginalized communities. And so it's an interesting discussion too, why like we don't target a lot of that vitriol at people like Tucker Carlson or Matt Walsh or Ben Shapiro, or other white supremacist people, nonsense people, who are even more horrible in their words and things like that, and utilize things like Dave Chappelle and J.K. Rowling for their own ends. It's a larger discussion to have too. So. Oh, thank you, Super Desi. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your super chat. You said, Jessie, your kindness is a gift to everyone who watches you. Continue shining your kindness to this channel for as long as there are streams to stream out there, too. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Super Desi. Yeah, it was funny. I'm not sorry, I hope this doesn't aggrandize myself, and I'm not trying to be, but I felt bad. I was writing my Star Trek Picard Season 2 review, which went up today. And I was like, oh, I'm going to bash on this show and this season. I feel bad because I want to bash it on. And I was like writing jokes for the video. And I'm like, oh, these jokes suck. Like, these jokes are being mean to the show. And then I like filmed it and rewatched the entire video. And I'm like, all these jokes are not making fun. They're making fun of elements of the show, but they're not like doing it at the show's expense, which I was surprised by. And I'm like, oh, I like that about myself. That like, I feel bad for jokes that aren't even that mean. I hope I'm funny, but I'm glad. I feel better that my like humor isn't mean-spirited, which it's sometimes easy to do, and I've done it sometimes, but I don't know. It's something that's nice about myself that I like, that I don't know. Again, apologies. I don't mean to grandize myself. It feels weird to talk about something nice about yourself on stream. I know I'm a YouTuber and there's a certain amount of ego to that, but I don't like pumping up my ego. But it's just something, you know, it's like, oh, that about me. I like that about me. So, something weird. Thank you, Catherine Lambeth. Let's see. Punkrock's it's good to see you. You said, hey, Jessie, great to be back watching. Oh, Punkrock, yeah, it's been a hot minute. Have you heard of The Edge of Midnight? It's a really fun fanfic history of the Federation Klingon Cold War from 2257-2290. No, I mean, I've heard of it. Other people have mentioned it to me, and I've been wanting to get into more fan audio drama. Is it an audio drama, you said, or is it fanfic? It's just a fanfic. I have heard of it, but I haven't read it. No, I haven't had time to read a lot of fanfic, and I want to at some point, just because I want to. So one of my hopes is, and I spoke about this to some of my patrons, one of my hopes is once I have my FFS surgery, which is next month, I'm taking a little bit of a break from video making just for a few weeks to just have like a summer break to restore my own like creative mindset. And then from there, I want to actually write some fan fiction just to get into the habit of writing more fiction again. And then actually write something that's not fanfic, that is like fictional, because I want to start doing that. And one of the projects that I might do, I have two things in mind. One is a fan fiction story, both Star Trek. One's a fan fiction story and one's an audio drama that I want to do. The audio drama I would do like to get into the production of fiction and doing more audio dramas. So that might be fun. The audio drama is I have a horror Star Trek audio drama idea in mind, which would be kind of fun, like horror in the Star Trek universe. And the other one's a cool fan fiction story where it's just Kelvin timeline Michael Burnham meeting Prime Spock right before he dies. Leonard Nimoy Spock right before he dies, which would be kind of fun. So I'll share those with you when I get to it. But those are going to be just me like warming up into writing fiction. So that's my goal. That is my goal for the second half of the year after my facial harmonization surgery. I like harmonization better than feminization. So. Did I miss a super chat? I want to make sure. Yes, I did. Disc Graphic Programmer, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. Mwah, you lovely person. You said, does Jumpgate Podcast have a comment section or forum somewhere? I have opinions. Are they good opinions or bad opinions? Because if it's bad, we don't read them. No. No, what I want, we do, when I post the videos up, or post the podcast up, there is a comment section in the community section of the page, but we don't read them on stream. Maybe, you know what? It won't be next episode because we've already recorded a few ahead, but I'm going to start actually saying some comments in the show. So at the end of each show, I'll probably read a few comments, or maybe at the beginning. Beginning would actually make more sense. Well, I'll talk to Vera about it, but since I'm the host, I'll do the show. But leave some comments on the community section, and I might read them on the show. I think that might be. I've been wanting to do that for a while. I keep forgetting because I'm lazy, or lazy in weird ways. So we'll definitely do that. Oh, I appreciate that, Bella Noach. No, and Bella, I want to be clear. Again, we'll stop. I'll stop this here. This part of the conversation. I don't want to get hung up on like Dave Chappelle and stuff. But, I want to be clear. I appreciate the criticism. I always appreciate people coming to me with actual criticism of the things I have to say, in good faith, because that makes me better. Right? It's how I learn. Like, I learn as a person talking about these issues. I learn as someone speaking on these issues. I learn as a creator by people being honest and open with their criticism. So people criticizing me, like you, Bella, and a few others that I saw, being like, you're being too kind, or at least you come off too kind in the video. Again, I hope the video didn't come off, like, super kind, because I did call him out for being, like, throwing trans people into the bus for profit and using the trans best friend argument to get off scot-free with it. So, like, maybe the tone was different, but anyways, it's a good criticism, and it's something that I like to work with. So yeah, so don't apologize for it, which I don't think you did. You didn't even say that. You didn't even apologize. So good. You were being honest about it. But yeah, no, I appreciate that criticism. All that criticism is appreciated. Yeah. So no, it's good. It's good. Michael Burnham and Nimoy would be amazing, right? So you're gonna get me talking about my fanfic, and no one wants to ever hear a creator talk about their fanfic. Just write the fanfic and people will come. But I do have an idea for it. But Mac the Knife, heart to you, thank you so much. You said, I don't care about Picard's quality, I just want 7 of 9 content. Also, fiction writing is super fun. Yes, something I should have mentioned in my review of Star Trek Picard Season 2. The best thing to come out of Star Trek Picard Season 2, as almost always is the ancillary content. And this is about every single Star Trek show. I would argue, even the best Star Trek shows, the best media to come out of the Star Trek shows is the ancillary stuff. And the best stuff to come out of Star Trek Picard, Una McCormick, Star Trek Picard Season 1 prequel novel, Greater Than the Sum, mwah, amazing. And then number 2, the audio drama that they did with Seven and Raffi, the actual actors, 7 of 9, Jerry Ryan, and Raffi, Michelle Hurd, Raffi Musiker. They did an audio drama set between Season 1 and 2 Picard, and it is so good. If you like the characters of Star Trek Picard but don't love the story, go listen to that audio drama because it is fantastic. And that's what I want Star Trek to do more of, and also kind of want a job doing. Let me, like, if someone came to me and said, Jessie, you could have any job you want in the Star Trek universe, except for a showrunner on a show. If they're like, you can't be a showrunner on a show, what would you want to be? I would be like, okay, I would love to make Star Trek audio dramas, like the big finish for Star Trek. If I could do that, I would love that. So I kind of want to do some Star Trek audio dramas to, like, maybe be like, hey, Viacom, CBS, or actually probably more accurately, Simon & Schuster. You need somebody to do these for you? Because I would do it. It'd be fine. It's okay. Just get all this old Star Trek actors. Get, like, all the old Star Trek actors to come back and, like, do stuff, like do a Bride of Chaotica audio drama with, like, Garrett Wang and Robert Duncan McNeil. Maybe even Janeway herself to appear as well. Like, do that would be so fun. And other things like that. Like, get them to do that, or like a Deep Space, like a Garrick and Bashir like audio drama afterwards, or after Deep Space Nine. Just stuff like that would be so much fun. Get Nicole DeBoer back as Ezri Dax, or hell, even Terry Farrell. Do like a thing set in Deep Space Nine and get Terry Farrell back as Jadzia Dax to do something. It would be so much fun. It'd be so much fun. So yes, Mac the Knife, I agree with you. Alex Miller, heart to you, my friend. You said, this is Kai from Halo Appreciation Super Chat. All hail the wholesome greatness that is Kai. Yes, I mean, I do love Kai. If any of you, so I've been reviewing, for those of you who don't know, I've been reviewing Halo, the series, over on my secondary channel, and it's actually surprisingly good. Like, surprisingly very good. Like, it starts off okay, but as the series goes on, Halo the series actually is, like, really good. And if you're a fan, of the games, it might be a little bit of a hump to get over how different it is from the games. But if you're a fan of shows like The Expanse, it is not on the same level as The Expanse. Like, Expanse is, like, top tier, S tier science fiction. But if you're looking for, like, a show in that same vein as The Expanse, Halo's right there. and it is really actually solidly good, and the best character in the whole show is freaking Kai. Kai is one of the Spartans, and she's like, she's like on the Charlize Theron level, like women who can punch me in the face, and that, like, I'm just a little bit like, you can punch me in the face as much as you want. I'm okay with this. Kai is freaking great. I would heavily recommend going to watch Halo the show. It's not the best sci-fi ever, but I think it's really good. And especially if you're like looking for something to like fill that Expanse void, Halo will fit right in there. Just don't go in expecting like Expanse level storytelling, but it's still, I think, really fun. So I know Garrick and Bashir do. Yes, Alexander Siddig and Andrew Robinson read some fanfic early in the pandemic that was really good. It was, and they actually got Quark and Jake Sisko back for that, and it was actually really good. Like, that's what I want. Like, do that, but with like actual like heavy production value. It would be a lot of fun. It would be so much fun. Oh, you're Nito too, Charles Marlowe. I know you were saying hi earlier. Sorry, I was missing because I was ranting about stuff. But Charles Marlowe, it's good to see you. Thank you so much. You're wonderful. Heart to you, my friend. Right, Wellbanger? More Big Finish. We need more Big Finish. Or short treks. Yeah, Captain Pikachu. I would love that. Ooh, Knit and Crochet Tiger. If you could pick one alien in Trek to be a bridge officer that has not been in Starfleet as a main bridge officer, what alien would that be? Well, to be fair, the one that I would have picked is actually getting it now in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, kind of. Andorians. Andorians are legit one of my favorite alien species in all of Star Trek, and we hadn't seen any of them be main characters in the show, except for maybe Shran, a little bit with why am I blanking out? With Rin in Star Trek Discovery, but now we actually have Hemmer, who is not, and I mean, he is Andorian, but he's like technically, I think they technically call him an offshoot race, what the Yanar are, but anyways, it's still from Andorian culture. A subspecies, I don't know what they're technically called, but that would be my choice. If I had to pick one now, I would actually love, a Janai from the episode The Outcast. The non-binary alien species that are like hate binary genders and use conversion therapy against people with binary gender. Because I would actually love that if you had like the Janai join the Federation by the time you like Star Trek Picard era, like 25th century Star Trek Lower Decks era. But then you actually have like a trans character in the show kind of confront them about their bigotry, but have it be about like how non-binary people in their society are cisgender, and how transgender in their society is going towards what we would see as a binary gender. I think that would like be a really way to talk about prejudice through gender, but have it not necessarily be in the same way that Star Trek or in our real world does it, where it's very binarized, where we could talk about prejudice in gender and how it forms in gender in a way that sort of removes it from binarized gender forms, talking about like societal expectations of gender through alien metaphor, but have it be with a literal trans character say that to a alien metaphor. Because that's always the thing, it's like, if we're going to talk about trans issues, you can talk about it in metaphor, but have like a trans person be involved in that storyline in a way that is tangential to it. And I think that inclusiveness of that, like for example, they did in Star Trek Discovery. Like Star Trek Discovery, what I loved in Season 3 of Star Trek Discovery is they have a transgender character, but they have a metaphor for trans issues through the Trill. So unlike Jadzia Dax, who, like, I love Jadzia, but she was kind of like representative of trans issues, but in an allegorical way that felt sometimes alienating to trans people that actually exist. You have in Discovery a trans character talking about issues that relate to identity in a trans-themed way, but it not being necessarily traumatized through their trans experience, which I thought was so beautiful to see, and I would love to see that. I would love to see that in with a character like the Janai. I think that would actually be a really cool character to do as like a Star Trek character to explore more. Yeah, Rick Berman sucks. We'll be talking about that in more in my next videos. In my second Star Trek video, Logan Mansion Gaming, my second Star Trek Part 2 video, has a whole section about Rick Berman. It's called that section of the video, by the way, I'm kind of pleased with. It's called The Next Generation. Because Rick Berman became the next gene. So the next generation after, yeah. It's funny, damn it. Don't laugh at me. But yeah, we'll talk about Rick Berman a lot in the Sex and Star Trek video. Let's see. Right, I hate the word subspecies too. It's a bit wonky. It feels like, cause like one of the things that like throws me with the Yanar is like they call the Yanar in Star Trek Strange Worlds a subspecies of the Andorians, and I'm like, and I guess they're like technically are because they evolved differently, like literally evolved differently within the lore of that show. But it comes across as like they're just racialized. Like they have a different skin color, but they also have different abilities, which is not like necessarily something I would place upon race, because race in our society, in like our real world, is like a made up concept created out of colonialization to otherize people of a different skin color and justify their subjugation, right? But there's actually not a difference besides just like skin color. There's not really a difference between black and white people. That's just a thing that society made up to oppress black people, and other people of color. But within Andorian society, they are quite literally like they have different abilities and like technically are a different species, so it doesn't necessarily map on perfectly, which is always sometimes the problem when you talk about alien allegory for these exact reasons, right? Because it can have like unfortunate implications if you extend the metaphor too far. So that's why I'm like, I don't necessarily want to call the Aenar a different race within Star Trek Strange New Worlds, because I feel like that would be a misunderstanding of how race works in our society today. But it is also uncomfortable to call them like a different species, because that's also how we dehumanize people too in our society today, saying like black people are like a different species, which is also untrue. So it's a little uncomfortable both ways when we're talking about like allegory. So it's a whole thing. Yeah, exactly. And humiller, it subspecies tends to imply a primary species as well. Also, I missed a few super chats, so sorry about that. Let me get to that. J Lord Heart2, thank you again for your super chat. Mwah, thank you, my friend. You said if you had lived in a country like mine, we have world-class universal healthcare and education for decades, the highest minimum wage on earth, and majority capitalism. How would you push socialism? Well, isn't that J Lord? Well, we can have this conversation in a longer context, but like, isn't universal healthcare socialism? That's what that is. So it's again, I'm not here to start a fight with you or argue with you, but like, if you're arguing that capitalism is the best way, but your example is universal healthcare and education for all that's subsidized by the state, that's socialism. That's not all that socialism is, but those are elements of socialism. Like unfettered, like what capitalism is more like what we have in America, where it's allowed unfettered and unchecked. And things like socialism are like, to a degree, again, it's much more complicated, is like trying to place systems on that to try to more fairly distribute some of the benefits to everybody, using government as the apparatus to do so. Whereas while I believe in socialism more than I believe in I would rather live in like what you're describing in that society more than I would like living in the American unfettered capitalism that we have today. But I also am someone that is also more of an anarchist. An anarchist is not like, let's destroy everything, to deflate that idea. The idea of anarchism, and I would actually have it right here, so sorry to use like this pile of books here, but I would actually recommend to you worshiping, actually these two books would actually be great too. If you wanted to see what I have on hand here. These two books, if you want to learn more about it, the ABCs of Anarchism, because there's a lot of different anarchistic thought about anarchism right here. And then Worshipping Power, which is also another one that just sort of discusses anarchism. So I'd recommend these two books to anybody if you're looking for good information on it. But the basic concept of anarchism is just a belief that power needs to always justify itself. That if you're going to have a system of power, like government, like hierarchies, or anything like that, it needs to justify itself. There needs to be a reason for it. And instead of assuming that hierarchical structures need to exist, we need reasons to justify why it exists. And most hierarchical structures don't need to. There can be a flatter structure in almost all cases. One example that might be like an example of it not necessarily needing to be not being able to be a flat structure at certain times would be like in a military sense. Like, not that you would need to that you might have to assign different people at different times to like make military decisions if like you're in a country that's an anarchistic country that's being attacked. And that's still like, you would still be able to try and not have as hierarchical structure as everywhere else, where you could maybe assign people randomly to make those decisions. The roles shift. It changes out that you have a panel of people making the decisions instead of one person at the top. There's many different ways in schools of thought to do it, but it's just an example of that. So yeah, that's just the basic concept. Anyways, that's the that sort of stuff. So yeah, I hope that was an educational thing for anybody. We're getting into some very getting into it. Miss Wicked Wolf, we'd never laugh at you, Jessie. Oh, laugh at me. I'm here to be laughed at. I am here to dance for your amusement. So please laugh at me. Just don't dehumanize me. That's all I ask. As long as I'm a clown. I'm happy to be laughed at. Just always just make sure to know that I'm a human too. So that's the difference. I'm a Dom species. I appreciate that, Charlie Marlowe. RT, thank you so much for that. I like that. It's a mixed economy, J-Lord. That's my system. Well, yeah, see, that was what you were talking about. Heart to you, J-Lord. The book link in the description leads to a malware site now. Oh, no. It might not have stopped. I need to update that. So if those of you don't know, I wrote a book, or I helped write part of a book years ago, and I haven't updated that. I just keep the link there, because I don't make any money off of it. It's through it's an academic book, so all the money goes to like academic people. Technically I should make some money off of it, but it's like so nominal that I don't think I've ever received a check for it, and probably should look into it, but like I would bet it'd be like for $10 or something over the course of however years I get like 1% of the book or whatever. So I need to update that link, so it might be a dead link. So so thank you for letting me know, someone happy. I'll update that. What's your favorite animated movie? Ooh. Difficult question, actually. Oh, hey, FD Signifier. Finished that piece for you. Oh, I saw FD. I saw your Slack messages came up while I've been on stream. I just haven't gone over. I was gonna say hi once I finish the stream. So good to see you, FD. Sorry for making you watch that show or watch that episode. For everyone here, just so y'all know, I'm doing my Sex and Star Trek Part 2 video, and FD he's doing a little piece for it about Code of Honor, the episode Code of Honor from Next Generation, and I feel so bad because I made you I made you watch Code of Honor, which is absolutely horrible, but it sounds like you enjoyed it and got a good laugh out of it, which is good. I'm looking forward to seeing what your thoughts are. And you sent it to my email. It should be jearl1892@gmail.com. It's down in the link. It's down in the description if you go find it there. Just send it there, and that'll be perfect. So I'm looking forward to your thoughts. I feel bad though because I made you watch that episode, and then Foreign's doing a bit for the video too. And I made him also watch really terrible episodes. And I don't intend that. I'm just like, these are the episodes that I think you'll have something like, given your expertise, that you'll probably have something interesting to like talk about with it. So just, I'm curious to hear, honestly, I'm just more curious myself to hear your thoughts. But they're all bad episodes. So I made poor Foreign watch the episode, and he, like, what did he described the Ferengi as like, people with like a scrotum for a face. And it was great. So it's very funny. But yeah, I just feel bad. I promise. I mean, I know after you said you've watched some more Star Trek, so at least it wasn't your first exposure to the show. Oh, Sam JB, heart to you. Thank you so much. Always love your work. Well, thank you, Sam. Mwah, you're lovely. It's good to see you, my friend. Hey, Jessie, what do you think of the new Star Trek Strange New Worlds? Jordy, I've been reviewing it over on my other channel if you want my, like, specific thoughts on the show. What can I say? So, I have gotten screeners. I was lucky enough to be sent screeners of the first 5 episodes, so I've seen the first 5 episodes of the show, and I love it. Legitimately, I think that Strange New Worlds, based on again, it's just 5 episodes, so I can't speak for the whole season so far, or however the series is going to go, but having watched the first 5, I think the show is something pretty special, and I think that it is like fully capturing everything that I love about Star Trek. And as much as I love Discovery, I don't love Picard, but there are things I like about Picard. But as much as I love Discovery, I think Strange New Worlds is just, I love Strange New Worlds so much. I think the only thing that I could say if that Strange New Worlds could have done better on is just something that they're already doing in Discovery, which is like, Discovery is so queer. It's so queer and inclusive, and Strange New Worlds is also inclusive, but I would love it to have been inclusive in the way that Discovery is. But that's not saying it's wrong. Like, Strange New Worlds isn't bad or wrong for it. It's just like a personal thing that I prefer. So Strange New Worlds is great. It's just that I wish you could take that element of Discovery and put it into Strange New Worlds. That Strange New Worlds has elements of, but like Discovery I think does better. And so I would like that that in the show. But other than that, I think the show is something special. I will say, without spoiling for you, episode 5 might be one of my favorite things that modern Star Trek has done outside of Lower Decks. Episode 5 is fantastic. It is, again, I can only say so much that I don't want to spoil. It is space, campy space 1960s nonsense, and I love it. It is campy and funny and weird, episode 6. But it changes tones, too. Like, episode 4 is kind of dark. Like, episode 4 is a dark episode, but very good as well. But it's a darker episode, which is why I think they go lighter for episode 5. And then episode 3, what I love about episode 3, again, not spoiling, what I love about episode 3 is that there's a social message in episode 3 that at one point in the episode, literally it was about like 5 minutes from the end of the episode, and they like had this moment where it was like Captain Pike gives like a speech in the episode about like how he views the social message. And I was literally taking notes, and I said, oh, I don't like that. That has this implication to it, a very negative implication to it, that if you read it this way, this could be taken in a very bad way. And I didn't like it. I wrote that note down. The very next scene, another character said the exact thing that I had literally written down as my criticism, and I'm like, okay, they get it, loved it. I loved it. It was like they took the idea that they like took this idea of like what Star Trek normally does, which is sometimes individualize systemic issues, and I thought that was going to be the direction they take it. It's like, oh, it's just the one bad thing, and then they actually critiqued it in the very next scene, and I loved it. So without spoiling, I think you're all in for some treats with Star Trek Strange New Worlds. It has been very, very good so far for the first 5 that I've seen. So sorry to tease you with all of it, but yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, sorry to tease you all. Sorry to tease you, Wildbanger and everybody. Mac the Knife, heart to you. Thank you so much. You said you have a favorite novel. Mine is currently The Book Thief. I don't have a favorite novel. I mean, I guess I do. If you like, this is someone asked earlier and I meant to respond to it, but this is my tattoo. It's The Hobbit, which is like, it's the Smaug the dragon, and then his tail goes up to be Erebor, the Lonely Mountain from The Hobbit. So I would consider probably The Hobbit to be my favorite novel. Do I think it's like the best novel I've ever read? No, obviously it's influenced a lot. But I don't think, I think if I had a favorite novel, it would be The Hobbit, but I don't necessarily think it's my best one. It's just the one I love. Excuse me. If I had to think of other ones, I mean, I've been on like a fantasy kick for the past year or so. So like Mistborn, Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn was great. N.K. Jemisin's The Fifth Season, that whole trilogy is also really good. I love both of those. Those are 2 of my like top tier fantasies. What else is there that like immediately comes to mind? Anything by Ursula K. Le Guin, Earthsea, also fantastic. Like, I love the Earthsea series. Octavia Butler, anything by Octavia Butler. Kindred being my personal favorite of hers, but anything by Octavia Butler's great. Yeah, there's the ones that just immediately, like, instantaneously come to mind. But I'm sure there's, like, a lot more. I read Kaiju Preservation Society recently, by the way, by John Scalise. I think it's how you say his name. But I read that, and that was so much fun. It's by no means like a fantastic, like, oh, top tier novel, but it's just a fun novel. If you're looking for like a book that's just a fun time, also it's read by Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton does the audiobook narration, and it's just fun. Like, if you're looking for just a fun novel, Kaiju Preservation Society is a good time. That I would just highly recommend to anybody. So, Let's see. ER Mixon's craziest theory. So now we have Pike, April, and Kirk have been cast. Will it be better to have an episode that brings them together, or time travel that hops between their times as captains? No, I think just bring them together. I think time travel will be overused. The one thing I do want more than anything, if I do want one thing, one Star Trek thing, like really badly, and I don't even know if it would even be good. It could be crap, and I would be fine with. Honestly, if they did it and it was crap, I'd be fine with that too. I just want it. I want a big crossover movie before like all the actors who played some of the characters in like older Trek are dead. I would just like one last big, huge crossover film, because I feel like in the near future we'll probably get a crossover between Discovery, Strange New Worlds, and maybe Picard. I doubt. Maybe some characters from Picard. But we'll probably get a crossover between the 2 or 3 of those shows at some point. But what I would really love is if they got like a show that was like getting in Deep Space Nine, Voyager people, because like one of the coolest things about Picard, as much as I don't love that show as much, I do love that 7 of 9's in it, and it's cool to see 7 of 9 getting to interact with like TNG characters. That's fun. So I would love to see like Deep Space Nine characters interacting with like TNG, Voyager characters, Enterprise characters, Discovery characters. Like I would love to see that. And have like a big nonsense movie that like use whatever excuse, time travel nonsense, the universe is dying and you need to bring everybody together, whatever nonsense thing you need to do it. Just do it. And I would love the crap out of it. And hey, it may be bad and messy and nasty or whatever. It's fine. I don't care. I want to see it. I want that very badly. It's the one thing I'm like kind of sad with. I mean, again, I'm not a big fan of Picard Season 2, but like what also has me a little bit hesitant is Picard Season 3. They announced they're bringing back all the cast of the Next Generation for that, and I'm like, that's fun. It's nice to be able to see the Next Generation crew have one last ride into the sunset. That's kind of fun. But I would have much rather you mix it up. Like, bring back, like, Geordi, and then maybe O'Brien, and then maybe Cisco or whatever. Like, bring them back, like, in different remixes instead of, like, giving us the same group of people that we had already seen 7 seasons and 4 movies with. Like, I've seen the Next Generation crew exist together for 7 years and 4 movies, and I would just love to actually see them get to interact with other characters. So yeah. Oh, you're awesome, Paige. You're awesome. I'm not awesome. You're awesome. Star Trek: Strange New Discovery and Deep Space Voyagers on the lower decks with the next Prodigy. I love that. You forgot Enterprise. Star Trek: Strange New Discovery and Deep Space Voyagers on the lower decks with the next prodigies, enterprising prodigies. There you go. That's how you do it. The original series. Star Trek: Strange New Discovery and Deep Space Voyagers on the lower decks with the next enterprising prodigies. The original series. That's what you title it. That's what you title it. Pike in the Multiverse. That's the one I want. Pike in the Multiverse of Madness. Bacasta. I mean, without spoiling, kind of did get that a little bit already. Without spoiling too much. Catherine and Beth, heart to you. You said, I guess you'll just have to write your fanfic with all the Star Trek characters in it, right? We'll do it someday. I would do it. Can you spoil if Pike grows that mustache? No, he doesn't. At least not in the first 5 episodes, he doesn't. He does wear... One spoiler I'll say... Pike does wear a particularly specific costume in episode 5. Like a famous older costume that we have not seen since the original series comes back in episode 5. I'll say that. Let's see, what else do we got? Evelyn, I don't pressure anybody here. There's no peer pressure except for this. Watch Star Trek. Evelyn, watch Star Trek. I will peer pressure you into it. I will peer pressure you into this. But no, Evelyn, obviously don't. If you don't watch Star Trek, that's fine. But watch Star Trek. You should. It's great. It's sometimes great, sometimes horrible, yet always interesting. That's probably the best way. But I love it. I love it. Will Riker and Pike have an epic... Right? I would love that. I would love that, Super Desi. I would love the crap out of that, Super Desi. Let's see. Fox is the best doctor. Any last questions? Because I might Okay, we got a few more minutes, but I might head out soon. But I want to see if anyone has any more questions. Or anything you want me to talk about. Oh, Singular Rookheart, thank you so much. You said Lower Decks could finally totally find a way to bring any willing Trek actors together. Right? I mean, that's how best to put this? I mean, that's one of the best things to do, right? Because you can bring them back. With live action, you kind of have to bring the characters back at the age that they're at, which kind of makes sense because you set them in, like, the Picard era, time like the 25th century, and it makes sense for them there. But if you want to have them earlier, animation's the best place to do it, so bring back characters from there. I will... Is this going to get anyone in trouble? I won't say it. It might get someone in trouble. So I won't say it. But... yeah, I won't say it because it might get a person in trouble. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. So, have you seen the new trailer for Orville? No, I haven't, but I look forward to it. I'm looking forward to this Orville. To the season of the Orville is what I meant to say. Right, Oh, that would be great, Captain Rocket Dave. Captain Calhoun, fantastic. If anyone hasn't read the New Frontier books by I want to say Michael Dan Freeman. No, Peter David. It's Peter David who wrote those. The Peter David's New Frontier novels, fantastic. A lot of fun. Like, weird and out there and strange. And Captain Calhoun is a great character. Heavily would... If you're looking for, like... I personally love the post... Next Generation novel timeline that recently got blown up in the Coda series because of Star Trek Picard. But there's, like... 30-40 novels in that timeline. Like, there's a lot of those novels. So I would recommend it because they're all generally pretty good and the universe they build is fantastic. But if that's a little bit overwhelming for you, just read, like, the New Frontier novels are about, like, 15 or so books. And some of them are pretty short too, especially the early ones. Like, the first 4 are only like 150 pages each. So I'd recommend those books because those are really, really good, like just straight up storyline with a new captain, new characters, and just a good, like, story in the Star Trek universe. So I would highly recommend that if you're looking for, like, a good Star Trek novel series to, like, sink your teeth into. But the entirety of the post-TNG novel era is great. Got exploded recently because Star Trek Picard sort of overwrote that canon, but it's still really good. I have not received the copy of Boys in the Band, Chloe. I have not. I will have to check that. I haven't gone to my my mailbox in a minute. So, yes, Crispert, I do know a secret. I know a secret. I'll just put it this way. When I was at Star Trek Mission Chicago, one of the people on one of the shows, I won't say which show, mentioned accidentally that a character is coming back, and I got very excited. But I don't want to get this person in trouble, so that's as much as I'll say. But yes. Let's see. Don't bait me with Pike's face husband. Alright, fine. Captain Pikachu, we'll look at it. We'll look at Captain Pike pictures, because we're going to end the stream here soon. So let's look at Captain Pike pictures, because I need to. Let me see, really quickly. I'm going to get it here. Actually, let's see if I can get the episode up, because we need to. Okay. Give me just a hot second, everybody. We're going to look at some pictures of Pike very quickly and just, like, talk about how sexy he is for just a hot minute. I wouldn't have gotten it, Chloe. And thank you so much for Super Chat, Chloe. So, yeah, I haven't gone to my P.O. box in a few days, so... Let's see. Okay. Oh, that's going to take a minute to get there. Okay. Let me... Hey, Ozrub. Good to see you, my friend. So I'm going to see if this works because it might not. Where did my browser go? Give me a second, everybody. Got to make sure this works. Don't know why I've suddenly got an accent. Alright, there we go. We're gonna go to Paramount Plus. I'm gonna log in. We're gonna make fun of Hot Captain Pike for a minute. don't know. Again, sorry for this. This is just what I do right now. Or just this is just he's gonna have a little bit of an accent. Gonna become Australian. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna stop that before it gets too terribly offensive. Why? Why is this not here? There it is. Okay, I say. I was like, why is this not popping up? All right. I'm not going to stream the episode because I'll get in trouble, but I want to show some shots of Pike, so give me a hot second here. Let's see. Oh, it's going to make me watch an ad. I forgot I have ad-supported. Paramount Plus, so I need to fix that. Okay, okay. It does sound a little bit more Kiwi. It's probably because I've been watching a bunch of Our Flag Means Death, which is probably why I got a little bit of the Kiwi accent in there. It was probably more New Zealander because of the fact that I been watching a lot of Our Flag Means Death for the video tomorrow. Okay, let's see if I can get this working. Okay, so now you can see that, but now you don't see I need you to all see my face real quick. So give me a second. I'm just getting this up. Video capture device, add video capture. It should be this one. Nope. Give me a second, everyone. I promise it'll be worth it. This one? Nope. Not that one. Dang OBS, why you gotta be like that? Why is it not any of these? What? That can't be right. What is this? It's 5. So that should have worked. What? Well, here's what we'll do. Remove these. This should work. Okay, yes. Now you should be able, yeah, now you can see my face over here. Okay, cool. And let me get up the chat so I can actually see the chat. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. So I'm not going to play the episode because I'll get in trouble, but can we just talk about this? Where is it? Also, Celia Rose Gooding as Uhura. Freaking wonderful. Also, Nurse Chapel. Like, I'm sorry, Nurse Chapel, best. Like, the freaking best. I adore Nurse Chapel. Oh, no, my computer froze. I adore Nurse Chapel so much. Like, oh my gosh, she is literally the best. I adore her, like, to death. I adore this actress who plays Nurse Chapel. She's freaking amazing on every freaking level. I cannot tell you how much I freaking adore her. But look at that. Look at that right there. It is little jumper thing. I love this, like, casual fashion that we're seeing in Star Trek, like, the casual fashion. It's just absolutely amazing. But where is it? Can we just... Where is him cooking? I want to see Pike cook. Where is he? Give me the cooking Pike. Also, Ortegas. We haven't seen a lot of Ortegas yet, but Ortegas is also fantastic. Speaking of, we're talking about Andorians. Okay. There's not, like, a good shot here. Also, what is going on in that background? I didn't even really notice that when I was watching the episode, but, like, look at this. Look at this. It's like a little blue forest he's got in his, like, little, like, projector thing back here. Like, look at that. What is that sexiness? Oh, my God. It's kind of a problem. But wait, where is... There's definitely a shot of him, like, just cooking somewhere. But I don't... There it is! Look at that! Look at that man in the apron there. Look at that. I am so in love with this. Also, like, the silver fox hair. Like, oh my God. There. Oh my, can we just, like, look at this kitchen here? Sorry, now we're just, like, looking at, like, the set design, which also is fantastic. Like, his whole set design is actually really good. This is the same set. This is the same set they use for the ready room too. So it's his quarters and the ready room set because they must just redress it. Sorry, I'm just also quick pull up something real quick. Sorry, you're gonna see my desktop for a hot second. Just want to make sure that the live stream's not going down, so I have that up. Because we'll do a rant about this for just a hot second. Okay. But like, look at this. Look at those huge ribs. They gotta go out here. This cauliflower. What is that? He's got some pepper. Got some nice pepper. This like knife. These like salt shakers here. What is... I want to know what the hell that thing is. Like, what the hell is that red pot? Also, these shelves. Sorry, I'm just like, can I have this kitchen? Also, what is she wearing? What are these cargo pants she's got going on with, like, the straps? Like, and, like, the top here? Oh my god, everything about her outfit is freaking... Look at that. Look at that. I want this fashion. I want this fashion. Also, what are these... These two are on a date back here. Like, these two are just clearly, like, having a glass of wine. They're about to... Like, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna ask her out, and I don't know if she's gonna be into it, but I want to ask her out. But yeah, whoever did the set design on this was really good. They did it, and he's got like little bread hors d'oeuvres over here. Also, what is she carrying? Is that like tea? Or is that like sushi? What has she got there? What you got, Nurse Chef? What is that? It's like a little hors d'oeuvre thing plate. Also, these pans. I'm just all about these pans. Sorry, I'm just freaking out now too. Sorry, I apologize that this is like the sidetrack that I've currently got us on. But like, I just think the set here is really good. They did like a really good, like, all the sets are great, but like, they did like a really good job with these sets. Also, this guy looks pretty cool. I like him. What are these fruits? They look like nasties. They have like tongues on it. It's like some tongue fruit going on here. Look at it. The red thing, I think, oh, it's a panini. He has a panini. Pike makes paninis? Chris Bird, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that at all. I want Pike paninis. That sounds I mean, take it as dirty as you want, but that sounds dirtier than I intended it. But I want Pike paninis. Dragon fruit. Ooh, nice. I like his little ship back here. Also, her earrings. I didn't even notice her earrings. Her earrings are great too. Sorry, we're just appreciating the production design now. So what's going on here? Except for the one thing. The one thing. Oh, sorry, I got lost in his eyesight for a second. Look at that. His sideburns. Poor Ethan Peck has to live with these damn sideburns. Like, look at that. Look at that. Oh, people are asking about the colored fruit. Dragon fruit. I know it's dragon fruit now. I learned. You've taught me it's dragon fruit. But, like, look at these. Look at these. All right, everybody. With that said, as we look at our boy Pike here, look at that. Look at that little coiffed hair. Like, perfectly coiffed. Ugh. Ugh. And Rebecca Romaine. What's also here? Oh, he's got like a nice little... Oh, that's a nice little, nice little wine thing there. He's got like a nice little, drink rack right here, which is kind of nice. And his people drank a lot that night too. And he got little replicators in the back. Very cute. Adore it. Anywho, with that all being said, let me transition back over here. Pike's hair is so big. I have to head out because I got a couple things to do right after this, and I'm gonna go get some dinner. But everybody, a few announcements before I finish off the live stream tonight. Dishwashers lol. They're split girls. Few announcements before we end the stream. Let me say, tomorrow I have a video going up about Our Flag Means Death, which the wonderful, I don't know if he's here, sometimes he stops in the chat, I don't know if he was here or not, but Finjamin, Fantastic Mr. Fox on YouTube, who is a lovely person who talks about like trans issues, transmasculine issues. He is in the video about Our Flag Means Death tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the history of non-binary pirates and how while non-binary wasn't always considered a thing in history, that we can still also look at history through sometimes those lenses. Something that, by the way, Mia Mulder, who's another fantastic YouTuber, recently did a video on. So we'll be talking about Our Flag Means Death tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that video. I'm very excited to watch that one. Sex and Star Trek Part 2 is coming. I'm almost done with it, along with some other good videos that I got coming too, but I got my surgery also coming up as well. What else we got? I'm trying to think if there's any other announcements that I want to say before we wrap out. Oh, tomorrow. That's right. Big important thing. So tomorrow, Our Flag Means Death, and then at 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be on the Feminist Frequency Twitch stream. So if you go to Twitch and type in Feminist Frequency from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time, I'll be streaming to help fundraise for Feminist Frequency, and I will be playing Resident Evil 4 for the very first time. So come join me there. It should be a really, really fun time, and I get to be scared a little bit for the first time playing that game. Should be really good. So go and join me there for that. I might, because I am streaming tomorrow, I might not stream Saturday. We'll see how I end up feeling. In terms of just how tired I am and everything that. So I'll let you all know if I'm gonna stream Saturday, but I'll definitely be streaming tomorrow, possibly Saturday. Video tomorrow after Lightning's death, and then a bunch of other videos coming up fairly soon. So be on the lookout for all of that, my friends. Mwah. Love you all. See you all later. And thank you, Cappuccino Crafts. You're lovely. Mwah. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Mwah, 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 mwah. Stay positive and stay lovely and stay amazing. Mwah.